Hi everyone, welcome to the discussion of coefficient of variation. This is a continuation of unit 3, which is all about measures of dispersion and skewness. Today we'll specially see coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation is a very important statistical measurement which gives us an idea how the data set, whether the data is consistent or whether a person is consistent in his performance, or whether there is a lot of variation in his nature or in his performance, or even suppose how the share price of a company, both the company we are comparing, we can easily see which is more risky, which is less risky. So coefficient of variation is equals to sigma by x bar. CV, we normally call it CV, is equals to sigma by x bar into 100. It is always coming as a percentage, so that's why it is multiplied by 100. You can see here the formula: standard deviation divided by mean. If we are doing or talking about population, then population standard deviation is sigma divided by population mean is mu into 100. Let's see how to calculate coefficient of variation with a question. There are two companies share prices are given. We have to find out which company share price are more variable in nature. And we will again using the assumed mean method. I will discuss in details why we are using the assumed mean method. Now see, there are two company X values are given. The share price of the company X are given 53, 61, 73, 76 like that. Similarly for Y company, the share prices are given 64, 72 and all. We need to find out which company share price are more variable in nature. So if you add all these values together and then divide by the number of observations, here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 observations are there. So total number, if we are finding out total value, divide by the total value divided by the number of observations like 8, we can find out the mean. But there is a fair possibility that the mean will come in decimal. In case the mean is coming in decimal, definitely it will be a cumbersome job for calculating the values. That's why we are using the assumed mean method. In my earlier video, I have discussed how do you decide the assumed mean method. Now, to remind you, this is a question where there is no frequency given. So it's a single series of observation. From the time of central tendency, when we are always discussing that there are three methods for calculating whether mean, median or standard deviation. The three methods are single set of observation, ungrouped frequency distribution and grouped frequency distribution. Let me remind you, this is single set of observation where single values are given. There are no frequency given, no class interval given. For this type of situation, I am using assumed mean method. So what I am doing is, from all these value, I'll just pick up randomly a value which is as my assumed mean. Now I can take the value as 76, I can take the value as 73. Normally we are trying to see something in the middle so that some of the value will come negative, some of the value will come positive, and which will be a kind of balance in my calculation. For this time being, for this D, I am taking the 77 as my assumed mean. Therefore, DI is equals to X minus 77. Now, if you see there is a uniform distribution like 77, 87, 97, that type of value, then we will again divide it by now some number which is called H. And in the formula, we have to multiply by this H number. But since here the values are quite random in nature, so we are not dividing by any value. We are just keeping DI is equals to X minus 77. Let's calculate. So 53 minus 77 is minus 22. Similarly, minus 16, minus 4, minus 1, 0, 4, 6, and 9. Next column we will calculate DI square. So we'll square all the value and we'll add. It is coming as 890. Therefore, for the assumed mean method, the formula of standard deviation sigma will be equals to square root of summation of d square by n minus summation of d by n whole square. Okay, so let's see in this in my next slide I will discuss about how to calculate that. Let's do parallelly for the company Y. For the company Y, again the share prices are given. I will pick up a number which is almost in the middle range or a random value which will be my assumed mean for the Y. And I have picked up the value as 64 because almost in the range of 31 to highest value is 85. I have picked up 64. You can pick up any value, not necessarily even from the Y range. You can pick up any even 70, though it is not there, and it will give you exactly the same answer. Therefore, di is equals to y minus 64, and I'll get 0, 8. Some of the value will come negative, some of the value will come positive, and I'll add them. I'll get the value of summation di or sigma di. Then I'll square all the values and you will see that all the values after squaring, the total is coming as 3464, 3464. Let's continue that calculation. Therefore, we will find the mean of the first one. Mean of the first company X is equals to A plus summation Fi di divided by summation Fi. Normally we multiply with h, but here since we are not dividing anything, that means h is equals to 1. So the formula, there will be no h is mentioned. Therefore, it is coming as A. We have divided 77. You can see 77. So the value will come as 77 plus of summation of Fi di, summation of Fi di here, Fi is not there, therefore di is minus 24, therefore minus 24 divided by number of observation which is 8, and the value will come as 74. Following the same method, we can even find out the value of Y bar, which is the mean of the company Y. Therefore, again here it will be whatever I have subtracted here. Here we have subtracted 64. Therefore, A is equals to 64 plus of summation of di. Here no Fi is there. Therefore, it will come as summation of di divided by n. So, di is actually coming as 50. Negative 50 divided by n, and the value will come as 57.75. So this is the first step of calculating the mean, actual mean from the step deviation method or from the assumed mean method. Let's just do the standard deviation. So standard deviation formula we discussed in my earlier video, that summation of sigma Fi di square by n minus summation Fi di by n whole square into h. To remind you, here it's a single set of observations, so there will be no Fi, so the formula will be actually sigma is equals to square root of summation of di square by n minus summation di by n whole square into h is equals to 1 here. Therefore, we will see now summation di square. What is the value of di square? Di square summation sigma value is 890. So it will come 890 divided by number of observation which is 8 minus of summation di which is negative 24 by 8 whole square. Once we calculate, we get the value as 10.112. Following the same method, we can even calculate the standard deviation for the company Y, and we have got the standard deviation for the company Y as 19.85. Now, typically we are discussing about the CV, coefficient of variation, and as you remember, coefficient of variation formula is sigma by x bar into 100. Therefore, your sigma has come 10.112 divided by x bar, which is 74, entire thing multiplied by 100, and I have got the CV as 13.66. For the company Y, I have got the CV or coefficient of variation at 34.368. So where the CV is more, CV is coefficient of variation. Therefore, where the CV is more, the variation or the variability is more. Where the CV is less, the consistency is high. For this particular example, since the company CV of the company's share price Y is more, therefore share price of the company Y is more variable. To conclude, suppose we are comparing two students with their average marks and with their standard deviation. I have found the CV of both the student. Now, whose CV will be more? He is a less consistent student. Means sometime he might be performing very well, sometime he might not be performing very well. So whenever we take a statistical decision about consistency, wherever the CV is less, we say he is more consistent. That's all. With this discussion, I have completed whatever is the discussion about the measures of dispersion. In my subsequent video, I'll be discussing about the measures of skewness.